We don't know how that's going to
Lá
affect
no
the
meu
standings
canal, vê
until
aí.
we take a look later on. Don't forget, there's only the 6 spots here.
Fazendo, é.
Listen, at least Golden
That was
Boy's
insane.
At least Golden Boy is not here to call him smoke, is all I'm saying. JDW in your feed, picking off Complexity's Macwood. 46 players now. That's a very early elimination for the player from Complexity. Sentinel's Animals, 0 eliminations, 63 builds. Some minis, some shadow. We're seeing. We're starting to see a trend. Let me just put this out there, and you let me know if you agree or not.
All right.
Consistency across the board for loadouts is shotgun, an AR of some sort,
Right.
1 or 2 mobility items, and a heal.
Fazendo.
Yes.
If it's not 2 mobility items, it's only 1. I would say potentially 2 heals, and then the last utility slot, you could, if it's not 2 heals, you could say is a heavy sniper or flintlock.
Yes. So
It's
typically
like
we're
every
seeing
single loadout.
pretty much exactly that. So it's either going to be 2, like let's say it's like a rift, some kind of mobility, 2 heals. Sometimes we see people even if they're lucky to find them along the game.
Tamanho da
We've seen
safe
people
com
with like
45
6
views,
half
mano.
shields,
Tá
right?
louco.
Oh, yeah.
2 whole slots dedicated to 3 half shields apiece. And then you're like, oh, this guy just wants to fight the whole time.
I want to make a point too, so that it's not misconstrued what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that everyone runs the exact same thing all the time because it's the only thing to run. I'm saying people are running the huge in a BR game. And if you have a loadout that is consistently showing top performance, players are going to favor it. That's something to take note of if you're trying to step your own game up. Maybe you're not going to make it to this World Cup, but I guarantee you there's going to be events from Epic for Fortnite in the future. This ain't the end, believe me. And so learning those kind of setups and watching how the meta changes as the game evolves. I mean, we're getting updates that change things weekly. So you have players every single time that they're, and this has been, at this point, y'all, if you have not accepted that that is Fortnite, you need to just accept that that's Fortnite. Now, let's all finally settle and say, yes, it is a game that includes an evolution of meta constantly, which means the players are constantly being pushed to try and figure out how to play the next setup the best. And that's good. You want that because I'm gonna be very honest with you. From a spectator side, I feel like potentially a level of staleness would happen if you're like, all right, we're back to a pump shotgun and an SMG to swap to, pump shotgun, SMG to swap to. I feel like the combat shotgun has created more opportunities for back-to-back eliminations. You see Fiber going down there to Animal. It's just a situation where the game is trying to evolve in a way that makes it more representative of higher skill players and less representative of this guy is really good at the one thing all the time. You want to see people that can do it all.
Right.
You want the jack of all trades players to shine because they're the ones that have really put in a crazy amount of effort. They have skill, the knowledge to pick up everything about the game that they can as it changes. Sorry, I'm so long-winded about this. I'm very passionate about competitive Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's become such a big piece of what I do and what you do, especially you. I mean, you've been around for a long time.
Just about the beginning. Just about.
Exactly. And so it's like, it's just one of those things I want to see the game evolve and grow in a healthy way. And I know there's some people that are not happy with how the game is now, but you have to at least admit, those people have to at least admit that they're happy with the way that, I mean, an esport has continued to evolve. It has. It's undeniable.
Yeah, sure. And maybe just like expand upon that just a little bit more. Fortnite is an ever-evolving game. And it is a battle royale, and there is some kind of randomness involved in that, right? Like you land in a POI, and there's some form of random.
Well, you can harness that.
Correct, and it's why these players excel is because they can minimize that randomness factor, right? Like you said, their consistency. What can they do to minimize that randomness and give them an edge, which then propels them forward and continues moving forward? Unknown, great example. He knows what he does best: his rifling skills, his combat skills, his long-range shots. He's in a great position to do this, right? He didn't just land on this loadout. He worked for this loadout. He said, where do I need to go? When do I need to fight? Do I need to fight now?
To get it?
Exactly. There's so much. Like, on the surface, Fortnite may seem like, I guess, borderline one-dimensional, kind of, but there's actually so much depth to the game.
I wouldn't even say on the surface it seems that way. You've got building and shooting and strategic positioning.
Yeah,
there's a lot to it.
Elevation, game changes, what you land with, you know, how you're feeling on the day, what your skills are like, where you've spent your time. Have you done your shooting practice? Have you gone into playgrounds before then to practice up your building skills? There's so much. This is why I love Fortnite, dude. You're going to make me nerd out, and we're going to have long conversations about this.
This has been Deep Thoughts with Lupo and Zeke. Meanwhile, top 5 situation. My apologies for all that. Unknown from KNG with 6 eliminations. 19 builds. That Rift may or may not come into use here. It'll be tough to know just yet. TJ, the ultimate low ground. We're already in the top 3. The swap there, Baltic, Dylan, Glow Navy going down outside in the storm. Unknown dropping in and challenging Jfree, but he actually gets dropped all the way to the bottom. Stuck top to bottom of TJ.
Oh my
gosh, the traps.
Oh my gosh, he completely shuts down Jfree. But look at the health difference. If he's not careful, dude, and they spend time in the storm, Jfree has health advantage. He's got to be really careful how he approaches this.
The slurp, though, Unknown could potentially pop it. Should here momentarily, I almost anticipate. Here we go.
Do you think he just waits for him to drop down and try and riffs him and hopes that the slurp is enough to tick him over?
We'll see. Moving with the storm, Jfree in the ultimate high.
He's still ticking
13. Up. No builds for Unknown. He's going to have to... Yep, there we go. The shots. Combat shot coming from underneath. Can't quite connect.
20.
Kick out to the storm. Instead, finds a shot on Jfree. The celebratory rift to go into the sky. Unknown, well played. No builds left. No problem.
Bro, that was absolutely insane. Sundown, Monster Deep. Was that not just the craziest end to that game?
That ending was absolutely absurd. Nice celebratory rift there from the controller lord KNG. Unknown. Well done to get the victory royale there. But not only was it a fantastic finish to that match, that is it from NA East. It's done. All the matches are played. The standings are final. And Monster and I are going to...
Dude, are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for this?
Lobby.
OMG, boys. So first off, clicks.
Top 3 spots again. We've talked about the sharing before. Clicks, Clarity, and then KNG's Unknown in the last one will take those top 3 spots. But 6 spots are still up for grabs, and you'll see the next 6 fill them out. So congratulations, Cosmic, Tuzi, Legidian, Aspect, Hornet, and Creo. I'm telling you, that had to be the most nerve-wracking final hour for Aspect. We saw him finish on 60 points. He was in 2nd place. These last 4 right here, from Aspect to Fernando, were all at 60 points. Aspect had the 2 victory royales that pushed him up into 7th. Hornet had 1 that pushed him up into 8th. Creo had 0. Fernando had 0. The difference, average eliminations, average points, all of them average placement. Creo owned all the tiebreakers. He had all of them afterward, was slightly ahead, 3.8 to 2.8, 18 to 3.6, and the average point 7.5.